Welcome back to BookView TV. Now, this week we're talking with Dionne Lister. She's author of Shadows of the Realm, and she joins us from her home in Sydney, Australia. Now, Dionne, I won't reveal any of the plot, but can you see a time and place where humans and dragons can live together in understanding?
Yes, it's whether or not they can live in understanding with the Gormans. I don't think that will ever happen.
They are a rather nettlesome bunch there, no question. Now, having worked in the publishing industry, I cannot help but notice that the difficulty of breaking into this rather entrenched market here. And especially taking a title from Australia to Amazon, it's not so simple. I mean, you've got shipping costs, and there are very few homegrown alternatives that yet books do seem to do very well. How do you battle such an entrenched system there?
I haven't got my book in bookshops because it would be too hard to do it by myself. You can get a distributor, but then they take so much money that, like you said, it's not cost effective to do it. I had my book in a couple of shops and it sold out, but then they weren't interested on sort of stocking it again. But I've got it in libraries, and at the moment, because it's young adult, I'm putting it into the different states in Australia to get it into the schools. So I'm looking at it that way, but I mainly sell ebooks, and I attend fairs sometimes and sell my books. We had a supernova thing here, which attracts fans of fantasy and science fiction. I sold quite a few books at that as well. So, but it's mainly ebooks that I sell, and because obviously the internet is worldwide, that's not as hard as you would think.
Now, you're a staunch advocate of self-publishing, and tell us a bit about how and why you chose this particular route, and especially for authors starting out, what are some of the tips you might give somebody to, try and establish yourself in this area?
Well, I did it because I didn't want to die without having published a book. It's very hard. It's hard to get an agent or a publisher to approve your book. They might like it, but they have just published 3 other fantasy books, so or they may not like it. So, but yeah. So my dream was always to be a published author ever since I was young. So this is a good way to do it. But I would advise getting on social media and building a professional platform, talking to people, not just telling everyone to buy a book. I would advise getting a professional cover, getting it edited, making sure you have a good product, because it's a business. As much as I love to write, it is a business, and you invest time and money into a business. And if you're not willing to do that, don't expect to be successful.
It's interesting you say that, because I run across so many authors who believe that the most difficult thing to do is to actually write the book. However, when they then are faced with the prospect of having to go out and sell their book, it becomes something that's completely foreign to them, because they have this idea that the publisher will do all for them, when indeed something like 100,000 books a year are published traditionally, and very few get any kind of support. What advice do you give to an author there in Oz or New Zealand starting out, and how can you actually build this as a business?
Just keep working and have patience. I mean, I don't sell enough books to just earn a living from that. I'm an editor and copywriter by profession. And most, even mid-list authors with publishers, probably have second jobs. Even if they sold 20,000 books a year, if you're getting $1 a book from the publisher, which is more likely than not, that's not enough to make a living. As a self-published author, you can sell 1/3 of the books to make the same money, which is great. You own your rights for the rest of your life, which is fantastic. There's obviously, hopefully, some benefits for being with a publisher, but if that seems all too hard, if you've got a little bit of a business head, there's a lot of people out there now that can help you do formatting, like I said, covers, that sort of thing. They can point you in the right direction for marketing. You've just got to be willing to work hard and be patient. That's the advice I would give.
You have a podcast out there called Tweep Nature. How does the Nation, excuse me, Tweep Nation. Yeah, you know what it is? It's autocorrect. It drives me crazy. Tweep Nation. Tell us a little bit about Tweep Nation. I'll say that very slowly, and how that actually works. What is the whole idea behind it, and where are you taking it?
Well, it's a podcast that my friend from Texas, another author, and I decided to do just for fun. And we interview authors every week, and we do get a bit silly. It's not G-rated, I wouldn't say. It's probably M. I don't know if you have that kind of rating over there, but there's a bit of swearing and there's a little bit of whatever. Anyway, we get a bit silly, but it's a lot of fun.
R to NC-17, I believe, is what we'd call that, right?
So yeah, we interview authors and we go off on tangents, but it's kind of just to talk about writing and publishing in a fun way, so you can have a laugh along the way as well and get to learn a bit about the authors that we talk to. So that was just for a bit of fun. And I also co-host Club Fantasy, which is a book club. I have 3 other co-hosts, and that was started by David Lowry from America. And we have a book of the month every month. It's speculative fiction. And then we have a Google Plus Hangout, and we discuss the book of the month. And it can get quite interesting because we haven't liked quite a few of the books we've done, which has been quite fun to talk about.
So you don't even have the pretense of trying to be kind about it if it's something that doesn't work, right?
No, I mean, we're not rude to the authors because, hey, they put a lot of work and it is personal taste. Sometimes it can come down to personal taste, which we all know everyone's taste is different. But yeah, we're not afraid to speak our mind.
Well, the name of the book is Shadow of the Realm. It's a great read, Dionne, and great fun. I want to thank you for joining us this week on BookView TV.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.
Our guest this week has been Dionne Lister. Now, she's author of Shadows of the Realm. It's available in ebook and paperback on Amazon and barnesandnoble.com. Now, you can find Dionne's work on www.dionnelisterwriter.wordpress.com. And her book, Shadow of the Realm, is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. The sequel is called A Time of Darkness, and it too is on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. And Dionne also has a book of suspenseful short stories called Dark Spaces. Do you have a Twitter account, Dionne?
Yes, I'm at Dionne, Dionne Lister, Lister.
Wonderful, and you can follow her there as well. Thanks for joining us again this week on BookView TV. We invite you to tune in again next week when another author will sit across the Skype table from you, where we'll once again discuss books and the craft of writing them. I'm Dennis Campbell saying thank you and good night.